Hello YouTube, what's good everybody? Back at it again with another video, and today I wanted to do something different. Today I wanted to talk about something different. I want to shed light on this topic, which is something I've done before, but I wanted to bring it to my channel. I want to start talking about mental health a lot more. I actually want to start doing this thing called Mental Health Mondays. So this will be my first video. This is me introducing it, talking about mental health, talking about how my mental health affects me. I'm going to be giving you guys some coping skills, some coping methods that I use when I feel like my mental health is kind of all over the place. And it's just going to be support talk, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So before I go any further, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with somebody, anybody. And I say that on all my videos, but seriously, like when it comes to topics like this, like please share it with someone. If you feel like, or you know for sure someone is struggling, someone needs help, someone needs someone to talk to, please share this video. And if someone is hurt or in danger, or they're talking about hurting themselves, or they're talking about hurting somebody else, please let authorities know, a trusted parent or guardian, because this is serious. So let's get into it. So I want to start off by giving you guys a little background history on me. Nickname is Daji. Full name is Daji Unique. I am 22 years old, 22 years young. I honestly feel like I've struggled with depression practically my whole life, because I remember being a kid and just having moments where I was just sad and I didn't know why, and I would have moments where I'd be both at home and at school and I just felt sad, and it would come in waves because I'm a very energetic person, and I like to make people laugh and make people smile and stuff, and I'm always laughing and smiling myself, so it feels good to put a smile on the next person's face. But I also would experience really dark moments, and I would isolate myself whenever that would happen because I didn't understand it. And so that was when I was a kid, and then when I was a preteen / teenager is when it really started to affect me. And I just remember still having moments where the sadness would just feel so heavy, and it's like I honestly feel like things that I had experienced didn't affect me until I was a preteen or a teenager. Things I had gone through when I was a kid and all that stuff, it's like I didn't really understand how bad it was, or I didn't understand how much it affected me until I was a teenager. It's like it hit me later on in life and I didn't understand why. And I was really overwhelmed and really stressed out and stuff, and I didn't know how to deal with it or cope with it. And back then I wasn't the best at expressing my feelings or feeling comfortable enough to talk to people, so I took it out on myself and I started to self-harm. And the self-harm consisted of me cutting my wrist. And I remember going to school one day, and I think I was holding my wrist or something in class, and one of my teachers saw, and they pulled me out into the hallway, and they were asking me what was wrong and everything. And I don't even think I had words to say. I just shouldered my wrist, and then after I shouldered my wrist, I just broke down and started crying. I told her I was tired and I was sad, and I didn't really want to be here anymore and all this stuff. So she didn't really know what to say. She was honestly kind of stunned and shocked, and she called the office, and the office called me in, and I had to go talk to the school counselor. The school counselor called my mom. Mom came up to the school, and that was how my mom found out that I had started self-harming. And when my mom found that out, she got me help. She put me in counseling. I can't remember if I was in counseling before that. Maybe I was, but definitely started going to counseling. I started seeing a counselor or a therapist, whatever you want to call it. And that was the stepping stone to me being able to talk and express myself, because I didn't know how to do it before. And when I first started seeing my counselor, I didn't even have confidence. I would look at the floor when I would talk to her. I would look around the room, never made eye contact because I wasn't confident in myself. And so that was junior high, I stayed seeing a counselor because I just needed someone to talk to, and freshman year came, went into high school. Freshman year came, it's a new transition. Things are different and different people. Now you're going to school with. Well, I came from a small junior high, and so the junior high I came from, we only had like about 80 to 100 students graduate, while other junior high classes had about 200 to 300 students. So going from that to high school, and I went to high school by myself because by that time both my siblings had graduated, so I was in school by myself. I didn't have anyone to go with me to the bus stop or to really like look out for me for real. So that was hard. And then just the transition in general, learning different things, and you have a class that's on this end of the school, and then you only have 6 minutes to get to your other class that's way on the other side of the school. It was like things like that. So that took a while to get used to. But anyway, freshman year, I was still pretty sad, still pretty, going through the emotions and stuff. My sister went off into basic training. She went off to the Army, and she left for basic training in December of 2014, either 2014 or 2015. I can't remember. And that made me feel like depressed all over again because my sister and I extremely close. We were extremely close, and she was my best friend. And I was like, dang, like now she's on the other side of the United States, and it was just hard adjusting to that. But I got through it. But I ended up having this one episode where I was just overwhelmed. I was done with life, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And I vented to some friends over the phone, like texting and stuff. And then one thing led to the next, and then long story short, I ended up in a mental hospital. And I was mad at myself. I remember being mad at myself like my first night there, and I was just like, how did you get to this point? How I just didn't understand it. How I was like, you're laying in a mental hospital, like this is your reality right now. Like, how did that happen? And I remember being sad and angry a couple of days before I went, because I was at school. I remember we had a football game, and I just wasn't happy, and I was just angry, like internally angry, and I just didn't understand it. And a couple of days later, I ended up in the hospital, and I was angry and I was confused. And it was my second night there, and we were done for the day, so it was about to be lights out. We had to go to our rooms and go to sleep and stuff. So I went to my room and I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, my spirit left my body. I didn't understand this at the time, but I understand it now. Fell asleep, my spirit left my body. And I know my spirit left my body because when I opened my eyes and came to realization, I was looking at myself in my hospital bed. I was asleep, but my spirit wasn't in my body. My spirit was out. And the next thing I know, I was in this place. It felt like I was floating in the air, but the atmosphere around me was so bright and vibrant and beautiful. And it was like big puffy clouds, and it was the most beautiful colors I have ever seen in my entire life. The only colors I can compare it to is like, imagine like the prettiest pink and the prettiest purple, like kind of something like that, like my life sign, but just way more vibrant. And I felt like I was seeing colors I've never even seen before. And it was I just remember like looking around and just being in awe. And then all of a sudden, I was standing on my 2 feet, and I was looking up, and the clouds started to separate like this, and it was a big ray of light coming down. Clouds separated, and it was just light. I didn't see anything else but light. And instantly, I knew I was in the presence of the Lord. I was in the presence of God in that moment. And I just started talking to him. I started asking him questions. I was like, God, I said, how did I get here? How did I get to this point? How did I end up in this place? I said, this is life. I said, this is life. This is it. I was like, God, I'm only 14. I remember saying that specifically. I said, God, I'm only 14 years old and I've been through so much. I was like, I'm tired. And God replies, word for word, this is what he said. He says, I know you've been through a lot and I know you're hurting, but you're gonna be okay. All you have to do is meet me halfway. And that was all he said. That was all he said. I don't remember what happened after that. I don't remember my spirit going back into my body. I remember waking up the next day and I remember feeling the Holy Spirit within me. I remember feeling like this overwhelming sensation of joy that I just couldn't explain, I couldn't express. So how did I express it? I went around the hospital. Well, first of all, I was still laying in my bed and then I woke up and I was like, what just happened? I thought it was a dream. Back then, I thought it was a dream. And then years later, like I can honestly say last year is when I realized that wasn't a dream. It's not a near-death experience because I wasn't dying as God came to me. But sometimes that's how people encounter God and stuff, is through NDE, near-death experiences. But that wasn't me. God just came to me in my sleep. So I don't know. I was just like, there's no way that happened. I just remember being so happy and so ecstatic. I was running around the hospital, God talk to me, God talk to me, God talk to me. I was so happy. And instantly I knew what he meant when he said that. You just have to meet me halfway. What he meant by that was, I will help you and I will guide you and I will protect you and I will provide for you. However, I am not going to do the work all by myself. He's not. Because I think sometimes we forget that God is not a superhero such as Superman and Spider-Man and all these other fictional characters. God is real. God is a source, but God is not going to do absolutely everything for us. So my way of helping myself in meeting God halfway, like he told me to do, was I need to be on it. I need to do what helps me, what helps better my mental health. So me personally, that's talking to a counselor, a therapist, and that's getting up every day and choosing me, and trying to get out of bed and coming up with good coping methods and coping skills that will benefit me. You can only, not some people, you can only drink so much. You can only smoke so much weed. You can only vape so much. You can only party so much. You can only be in so many relationships until they don't work. You can only do so much without God. But with God, you can do everything and anything. And me, I'm the type of person, when it comes to my mental health, like I have to talk about it. When something's not feeling right, I have to talk about it. And initially, I might not talk about it because I'm trying to figure out what's going on myself, but it has to be talked about. You can't bottle up all those emotions and feelings and anger, because it's just going to keep building and building and building and building, and those demons are just going to keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, and you don't deserve that. People don't come into this world angry. People don't come into this world sad and depressed and have anxiety and all that stuff. That stuff is transferred into us because of what we have to deal with and go through in life. I wasn't born depressed. The things I've encountered and witnessed and experienced has made me depressed. And then sometimes it's hereditary. Sometimes it's in your bloodline. Sometimes, and that's why I'm saying, like, that's why it's important to get checked out and go to the doctors and get physicals done and stuff, because people really need to understand what they're dealing with. Someone told me recently, you're stuck with you forever. You have your parents, you have siblings, you have friends and the spouse and stuff, but eventually those people go away. Not all marriages last, not all relationships last, not all friendships last. And it doesn't have to be negative. People pass away. People move to different states, out of the country and stuff. But you are stuck with you forever. So you have to constantly make sure you're checking in with yourself and taking care of yourself. So when it comes to mental health, do I still struggle with it? Yes. Am I still seeing a counselor? Absolutely. Is every day perfect? No, but every day is worth it because God is waking me up every day and putting air into my lungs. And I am here on a mission. After all these years, I truly feel like God has revealed my calling to me, and my calling is to help you guys, is to help people. And I realized that I've experienced certain things and I've gone through many storms. So I can stand here today and be a testimony. And I refuse to back down. I refuse to be silenced. I refuse to do any of that. Sometimes I get stuck in my head. And sometimes I feel worthless. Sometimes I don't feel purposeful. It's all lies. It's all lies. I'm done listening to that little voice in my head. I'm done listening to the enemy and giving the enemy time of day. Mental health has to do with your emotional state, your psychological state, the way you think. What are you telling yourself? What are you listening to? What type of music are you listening to? What type of movies and TV are you watching? All of that matters. What are you eating on a daily basis? All of that matters. So I don't want to make this video too long because it's my first video. I just wanted to shed some light on it. This is what I want to bring to my channel. Mental Health Mondays. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk to you guys about how my week is going, how my day is going, how I'm feeling, some of the things that help me when I'm feeling low or down, and then how do I bring myself back up? What do I do to bring myself back up? I just want to give some inspiration and also some guidance and be transparent about it, because this stuff is real. So there's more videos to come. Thank you so much if you watched this. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much if you watched the whole thing. I really appreciate it. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please share this video. Share it, and let's start talking about it. Let's start bringing light to it. Let's stop hiding and feeling like we can't talk about it, or we're too shy, or people are gonna bring us down. Because you also have to be careful on who you open up to. So we'll talk about that next week. But yeah, don't forget to smile, okay? Pick your head up, keep your head up every single day, and go out into the world and spread love, kindness, joy, and positivity, and watch all that good energy travel back to you, okay? I'll see you next time.